Hi guys, welcome to Convicted Hearts, and if you have a convicted heart, you are in the right place. Today I have the honor of being here with the Mrs. Cholo Trucker, better known as, or how would you introduce yourself? Actually, what do you call
My name's Belle.
it? Belle.
My
Okay,
name's
that's
Belle,
what.
yeah.
Yeah, this is obviously most of you know her, but I really wanted to talk with her and see, get to know her a little bit more. I feel like when I see you on the lives, you seem like a very cool person, and I just wanted to know a little bit
Thank you.
your history, your background, what it was like for you growing up.
Sure.
Yeah, did you grow up in Southern California?
Yes, I'm from Pasadena,
Okay.
which, yeah, is about maybe 15 miles northeast of Los Angeles.
Nice.
It's home of the Rose Parade. That's what I think most people, Rose Parade, Rose Bowl,
Yeah.
know it as. I
Right.
left there quite a while ago. 2 out of 3 of my kids were born there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a while. I don't go much, but that's where I'm originally from. Yes,
All right. Nice. Nice. So, how many children do you have altogether?
I have three.
Three. Okay.
Myself, I have three. Together, we have five. But I have three. He has two.
All
So
right.
myself, I just have three.
Yes. Okay. So you have a kind of a big family too, like I do. That's great. When I was watching one of your guys' lives together, that's when it like you really caught my attention because I was like, this girl sounds super cool to hang out with, and
Thank you. Thank
very
you.
accepting of like everyone in the chat. A lot of times people can feel like left out or excluded, but you were so welcoming to everyone. I really appreciated that.
Well, I try to, YouTube. I don't know YouTube. I always
Yeah.
say it on his lives. I'm the other Instagram, Facebook,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Snapchat. I don't really know YouTube, so it's the same but different, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of cool doing that live thing, and it goes kind of fast. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, let me read, let me look,
Hmm.
and I was trying to understand. I'm like, why don't you block this person? Why don't you block that person? Because it's like everything
Yes.
for me is private, on my
Hmm.
social media,
Hmm.
and if someone acts dumb, it's just like no.
Right.
It's like I'm like, oh no, I'm ready to fight, and he's like, no,
Yes. And that's what
no.
that caught my attention when you said that during one of the lives. You guys were talking about the fight, and you mentioned you said I was ready, to fight.
Oh.
I'm like, God, this sounds like me right here. I was like, okay, I got to talk to her.
I'm very protective,
Yes.
very protective of my family, my
Hmm.
friends' family. I I defend people, at the same time, it's like, last time I checked, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
So if someone's gonna bring somebody down, that I consider mine,
Yeah.
um, no, I go into full force to, I defend,
Right.
it's like
I
little
agree.
craziness,
Yeah. Little
sorry,
craziness never hurt anyone.
I'm having a drink. I hope you don't mind. So.
Not at all, girl. I just disguised it in my cup. That's all.
Yeah,
But
there you
I
go.
like that quality. It's like hard to come by these days. I feel like so many people are so easily, influenced, and you seem like you're very centered and protective of your people. I love that.
Yeah. I try to keep it like how my husband says, old school. My
Yeah.
mentality is,
Hmm.
very different. I think I'm cut differently than many.
Right.
My family's mostly men
Hmm.
growing up. So I think
Okay.
that's why I think a little bit different.
Yeah.
I was a single mom for a long time. So I played, mom and dad, which I kind of still do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's that, I think that aggressiveness and
Hmm.
don't mess with me thing when it comes to the
Right.
kids, you know.
Definitely. I think that probably makes a lot of sense why I felt a connection as well because I was the only female growing up in my family, all boys, all boys,
Okay.
his brother, everything. So
Uh-huh.
you do have to kind of keep up with the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it
Exactly.
for sure. What is it like? I mean, you've always grown up there, so it's probably nothing new to you. But how could you like explain maybe for the people up north or in other parts of the U.S. or world, what is
Mhm.
it like growing up in Southern California? Like, what do you think differentiates your experience there than
As a kid, it's cool because you have like Disneyland here and SeaWorld. You have a lot of, Six Flags. You have a lot of amusement parks that are close by. You have Hollywood that, people are like, oh my God, the beach. You have the beautiful beach on one end, and then on the other end, you have mountains. Like if it's snowing, you can go up there.
Right.
So it's like you have all this in front of you, and it's like, wow, this is so great. As you get older, you realize how expensive it is to live here.
Yes.
I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, honestly, there's maybe a couple of places that I would say maybe, live somewhere else. But then at the same time, it's like, I've always been sports.
Yeah.
And my teams are my teams. So it's like, okay, if I move, then I can't watch them. Yeah, it's
right?
the way, I'm telling you, the way I think is just crazy.
Yeah, so you're a big Dodgers and Steelers fan, right?
Yeah, I'm all LA except football.
Yes. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I grew up watching the Raiders. I think it was more the gang thing to do, Raiders, Kings. I'm still a Kings fan. Even like people would wear White Sox, just again, because of the colors, because of the gang life,
right,
and whatnot. But I mean, when the Raiders left, it was like, okay. I mean, I really didn't know who was who. I knew Bo Jackson, I knew Howie Long, but that's about it. So it's like they're gone, and I'm like, okay, now what am I supposed to do?
right.
And I was very young, so it's Steelers came. I came across Steelers and never looked back.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. What is it? Did you personally have any experience, with gangs or the influence, in Southern California with yourself or your family members?
Both. Pasadena at early '90s, gangs all around.
Right.
I was never from a neighborhood. I just wanted to get along with everybody. You know how political that can be.
Yes.
But I mean, I had friends. Even the black gangs. I mean, my best friend, she's black, and she hung out with certain crew, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I know people from over here, so that can get complicated. But I always try to just keep an open mindset, and it's like if things got a little bit too much, it's like, okay, I mean, I just kind of back away.
Yeah. At that point, you kind of have to. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw all the shooting. I saw, lost a lot of homeboys. I think it was in '94, a lot. And it was a stupid war going on out there. Knew a lot of people that got locked up. I had some family members that did a lot of time. So unfortunately, I know quite a few prisons.
Yeah.
Only visited areas for quite a few prisons. But it's not something, of course, I want for my own children. And the way I look at it, you do not have to repeat. My Nino always told me, you can be in the fire and not get burned.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and it can't be difficult, but it is doable.
Right. Yeah, I guess we could take from, our own experiences and just, do better and want better for our kids, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. How was it for you going into those visiting rooms and stuff? I know for myself, it was kind of a trip starting out, going to visit different family members, but it almost becomes robotic after so many visits.
Yeah. I mean, going in there, there was a lot of trips, like even to pick them up. I'm talking about family and friends. Like I would go with some friends of mine to pick up their siblings or even boyfriends, girlfriends. But I can't even remember the first time I actually visited a facility or what facility it was. I mean, I've gone, to Central California. Every time I would go, especially the actual prison, I just knew that I didn't want that life.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, and I mean, more power to anybody who has a man that's locked up or a lady that's locked up and you're down for them. I tip my hat to you. But that's not a life that I would want. It's not. I was involved with people, not relationship wise, but just involved with people to, try to watch out for them and stuff. And it's very time consuming, it's hard and it's expensive too. You know, you always want to help out. But I mean, I would see a lot of dedicated women every weekend, every weekend, you know, and they live hundreds of miles away, and they would spend the weekend there just to see their man, their, you know, whoever, for a few hours. And I'm like, it's heartbreaking. You know, it's heartbreaking because some of these people are doing life, and it's always, that's how it's going to be. Yeah, it's how it's going to be. And, you know, we all make bad choices and mistakes. Some of us, unfortunately, make the biggest mistake and either are in prison forever or we just, you know, don't survive. But that's one thing that I'm like, I don't want a life like this. If it's a sibling or if it's, you know, a family member, I can help out as much as I can. But me personally, it's like, this is so hard. You know, you take the kids. My kids have visited facilities. You know, my youngest son, his uncle's doing life. You know, and I took him a couple times myself, and I was like, wow, it's, I feel bad, you know. He's never going to be able to do anything with them, and just a few hours, but I guess it's helpful to them, you know. They changed their life inside, maybe that's what they needed. So I don't know, it's just so much different things, you know. But it is difficult. You see these families, you see people hurt, the parents, the siblings, just everybody in general.
You really do. Yeah, that's a good you know, bring that up. That's a good thing to speak about, is it really affects the whole family unit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know. And it's like, when, you know, I'll just throw something out there, like a murder's committed, you know, and if it's your own family member, your own friend, whatever, that committed it, and they're convicted, both families lose.
right.
You know, both families lose. Being on the other end, God forbid, you know, something, you know, which happened to a member, it's like, you have in your mentality, you want to go after whoever did whatever to you.
Right.
But, you know, in the long run, both families lose. One is gone completely. The other one, you have no contact with them, just when you're allowed to. So, I mean, it's just hard all around and very emotional. A lot of it, I can imagine the stress. I've seen people, you know, deal with it, and it's very hard.
It most definitely is. Yeah, that's one of the things for myself. The most recent, you know, trauma that my family dealt with when I lost my father. The fact, I mean, my own brother is the one who took his life, and
oh man, I'm sorry.
Thank you. And it's a difficult, you know, spot to be in, because you're both the victim's family and the perpetrator's family.
Yeah, talk about tearing you in half.
Yeah. So, of course, you know, I was upset and angry, but my love for my brother didn't just disappear. Yeah. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Like, it can really, you know, tear both sides up.
Yeah, that's very difficult.
Yeah. So what do you feel about, you know, female YouTubers trying to get into this and speaking about, you know, showing compassion and forgiveness? And that's kind of the direction I am trying to go. And I've had a little trouble, you know, getting other females on board, but, you know, I reached out to you and you responded right away. So I just want to thank you for that, first of all. But
well, thanks for asking. Yeah. I mean, you're the first person to ask. So
I'm surprised. I was like super honored. I'm like, wow, I'm glad she, you know, because I've reached out to a few ladies before and nothing. So I'm like, let's do this. But do you think there's room for us to, you know, as females, to like put our stories out there and voice out there?
I think there's room for anybody to do anything they want to. Like I said in the beginning, I'm cut differently. But I mean, you know, being honest, you know, it's always going to be a double standard, men versus women. That's just life in any ways, you know, but you got to look past that. And, you know, there are many men that support it. So, I mean, as far as women goes, I mean, we do have a tendency of, you know, being jealous, just in general.
Right.
Yeah, it just depends on what level you get. I mean, like, I'm jealous if he goes to a Dodger game. Like, come on, you know. But like certain things, so it's difficult. More nervous, but yeah, I mean, you can do anything, and it doesn't matter what sex is supporting you.
Right.
You know, you can bring it, you can voice it. They have so many movements now with so many things. So that, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Most definitely. I like that. Yeah, I can feel you on the, jealousy part. I think as females by nature, we all are somewhat. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think it's important, to respect each other, and if you want to reach out to someone and collaborate, like do it respectfully and things like that. I had a there's another girl on YouTube, and she and her husband do a channel together,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a lot of females coming at her spouse sideways. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I always feel like that's so weird. Like, why wouldn't they just approach her first? I don't know. To me, like, there's kind of a pecking order to it. Like, be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets a lot of funny emails that she deals with. So
Yeah, I never understood that either. I mean, it's the same thing, vice versa. Again, like I don't watch his videos, like that he posts. I mean, I get notifications. I'm a subscriber. Yes, I'll go occasionally on certain lives, but I don't really. I'm not looking at comments like that.
Right.
His Instagram, I run that completely. He has nothing to do with the Instagram.
Yeah.
I've gotten some messages, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Delete, decline.
Right.
Don't mess.
Yeah.
So,
Easy, right? It's so easy to do that and just like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, it's like, because I tell him, I was like, okay, and I'm like, I'm watching your YouTube,
Right.
I won't say the word, but it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. You can come at it respectfully, and hey, I'm cool with it. He can he interviews women, that's fine, doesn't bother me.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it has to do with also how you feel about yourself too.
That's
like for
true.
example, yourself, you feel that you want to take this movement, you want to go for it, go for it. I encourage it 100%. I support you 100%. I feel like you can do it. And it's, you do whatever you want as long as if you're comfortable with yourself and you love what you're doing and you can make a difference. You feel that in you. Doesn't matter what anyone else has to say, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, my husband purposely, he says, I don't want to see your videos because if I see something that makes me mad, I'm going to want to say something. I'm like, please don't. I've got this.
It's difficult for men, because they, they want to protect their women.
Yeah,
as they should.
I appreciate that. I do.
As they should. So it's like, you don't want anybody disrespecting your lady.
Right.
And it's like, what kind of man is he going to look like if he doesn't say anything? I already heard all this. So it's like, okay. And I was like, okay, I get it. So, we got to let them be men.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it, for sure. One thing that I also, I really love is, what? I just feel like the style in Southern California, you guys have, the original, swag. And I love to see, you guys go to a lot of car shows, right? And you go...
We try. We try.
I think a lot of people really, I don't know, look for the Southern California style when they're looking to dress or, things like that. What do you think about that?
It fades away, it's fading away with the younger generation. I know he's talked about it before.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people, even in the early 90s, they'd look at us and they'd be like, oh, that's the Cholo look. That's the Cholo look. Parecen cholos. Okay, fine. It's like, all right. But yeah, he's not wearing size 60 pants. I'm not wearing size 40 anymore. It's a little bit different also with trying to bring back more of the flexible way, the nice, the nicer way. Yes. But it's always nice to bring that, I always say the early 90s look, just because after that, it didn't come back anymore. Right. There was, we even had the cholos from the 70s. My tia, she's born in the late 50s, and I come across some of her letters and stuff and the way she's writing and things. It's like, wow. And this is the late 60s, mid 70s, and I'm like, this is really cool. The dressing, a little different, but still you could tell. Right. And after that was it. It's like, no, any gang members that you see now, younger ones, maybe it's a white t-shirt and Dickies, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, the estilo's different. So it's like it's an opportunity. Like Eddie's still dressed the same. He has never changed.
Yeah.
He has never changed, and he's always gonna look like that. You know, some of his homeboys would be like, "Dude, change your style." You know, or this, and he's like, "No, this is how I dress."
Yeah.
You know, almost every color of Cortez. You know, and I tell him, I go, "Do you remember when these were like $25, $30?"
Oh my gosh, yeah. Man, that has really changed, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I never had Cortez. We couldn't afford them, you know, when I was younger. So, you know, I had the Adidas, I had the Pumas. I mean, now I have Reeboks, but it's just like, you try to just go with that little stilo. You know?
Right. I feel like it's, that time frame was like such a, you know, a precious time as far as, you know, the style and everything. Like, it's...
Yeah, people are actually still clean. They're a little bit baggy, but they're still clean.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah, times have definitely changed. And like you said, even the way like the younger generation speaks and everything, it's a trip to hear some of the words they use and things like that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think about it too. It's like, what kind of words did we use?
Right.
So it's like you know, our older homies be like, "What are you talking about?" You know. So I'm like, okay, some words here and there.
Right.
But some things, it's, I don't know. I tell them, I'm like, okay, we have kids, you know, that are the same age. I'm like, what did we do wrong? What's wrong?
Right? How
you know, when they start doing stupid things like eating soap, you know, I was like, I tell my kids, I'm like, I better not find a video of you trying to swallow soap. I go, I will beat your ass live.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, don't be doing anything stupid. You know,
that's true.
It's just, it's a trip. It's a trip. Being able to watch all this stuff change. It's like, well, wow, how old are we?
Right. I think it's got to be something to do with social media, right? Because when
probably
we were younger, we didn't really have all this stuff.
No, we had rap music that corrupted us, remember?
Yeah, I know.
That's what it was. The damn rap music.
Yes.
For them, it's social media.
Right? That's funny. With your kids, like, what is it like, you know, I have a blended family too, but for you know, when it comes to when you guys, I don't know, maybe there's a serious situation and you guys are disciplining, do you guys do it together, or, you know, does one take the lead on it, you know, with certain kids, or how do you guys manage that?
Well, our kids are older. My oldest is 24. My daughter will be 23 in about a couple weeks. They're on their own.
Yeah.
So like if they, you know, they're not with us, they live on their own. They do their thing.
Okay.
If there's an issue, because there's issues with older kids.
Oh yeah.
You know. So I mean, it's pretty much, you know, if something comes around, it's like, Mom, you know, okay, what's going on? You know, stuff like that. His oldest he'll be 21 soon. The other one is 17, and then my youngest is 14. So as far as disciplinary issues, knock on wood, there really hasn't been any. You know, it's you know, I tell them something like, hey, pick this up. He tells them something, hey, go pick up outside. Big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. So it's not like they're little kids that it's like, yeah, I told you to do this, you know. So I think it's a bit easier.
Right.
You know, we still have the two that are in the teen years. But I mean, it's never really like, don't do this or don't do that. No, I think us as individual parents, you know, like if I find out mine does something, I react to it immediately. So like, I don't even give him a chance.
See, see, that's what I do too. I kind of, you know, I pick up right away. That way he doesn't have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We discuss it amongst each other, like if there's an issue or whatever. Same thing with him. If there's something that needs to be done, you know, with his kids, he gets on it because he's dad. A little bit different, you know. So he's dad. So yeah, it's just kind of, we just react. We just react. Luckily, up till now, it hasn't been an issue.
Anything. That's good. It sounds like you guys have some good kids. So most definitely.
Luckily, yeah, they're good kids.
That's good to hear. So I noticed your tattoos and I love them. I want to hear a little. How old were you when you got your first tattoo?
Very first one, I was 14.
14.
It was just needles and tinta china. And it was, I don't know if you could see it. It's the one on my middle, the cross.
Okay.
And hurt like hell. Thought my finger was gonna fall.
Yeah.
So after that, it, nothing else. Like everybody's, you know, somebody made a tattoo machine after that, and people were getting tattoos done in class.
Yeah.
So, yeah, after that, I was like, okay, that one hurt too much. I had to hide it from my mom. I didn't do anything else until after I was an adult.
Okay.
And, you know, got a tattoo here, got a tattoo there. Some were messed up because I did them in someone's garage and everything. And actually, until Eddie and I met, his primo does work.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, can you cover this up? You know, can you cover this up? And he's like, yeah, what do you want? So since then, they've just gotten everywhere. You know, so it's like now I have someone that does decent work, knows what they're doing. And so, yeah, within the last few years, that's when I just got blasted. And I've always wanted to do it. For all these years, I've always wanted to do it. You know, never really found an actual artist that I could stick with. It was kind of here and there.
Right.
But it was just like, that was the first tattoo. Maybe my next one was at 18, 19. And like maybe every year, something, you know, I get something. And then it finally just stopped. The last tattoo I got was, see, I didn't even have my youngest yet.
Okay.
So it was probably maybe 17 years ago.
Okay.
And then I stopped. And then when him and I got together, that's when I started again. And that's where everything.
Yeah. Well, you have some nice work. So that
Thank you.
makes a difference, right? When you find someone, you know, who comfortable with doing your work on you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just, you know, tattoos are addicting. I mean, if you can take the pain, I mean, to me, it's kind of therapeutic.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. I know some people who say that.
And I can't explain that. And even he told me, he goes, you know, yeah, some people like need that release. And I'm like, it kind of makes me think of like cutters, you know, how they say, oh, I need to cut myself to be to feel relief. There's no like hell I'm ever going to cut myself, you know, but it just, I don't know. I mean, there have been some that, yeah, they hurt. They did hurt. But I could take it. Yeah. I just always put in my head, I have kids.
Yeah, right? Nothing can compare to that, right?
I pushed humans out of my body, you know, and my back was breaking as it was happening.
Yes.
So I'm like, I can take this. I'm like, I can take this. I can take the pain. I can take the pain. Some of the longer pieces, of course, were just like, you know, and I'm like, just do it. And it's funny because I'm terrified of needles.
Really? And wow, that's a trip.
I'm not watching it when it's getting done.
Okay.
I'm not watching it. If I have to get a shot, I'm like, don't show me what you're gonna do. I take my glasses off.
You look away.
I look away. As soon as I feel the alcohol, I start to shake. Yeah, when it's blood, I ask them right off, do you know what you're doing? Because if you don't touch it. And I think I scare people when I tell them that.
Probably.
I'm like, I'm 100% serious. You do not want to get someone that does, because you are not poking me again.
Yes.
You know, and they're just like, okay. Yeah, I feel like raining from me when you have to take blood. It's
that's way worse than a shot, I think, because they're kind of digging around in there sometimes, and I
can't. I can't.
Most definitely. Does the cover up hurt worse than the tattoo, the original tattoo, do you think?
It depends on where it's at and how much scar tissue you have.
Okay.
I've learned this. Some people have a very heavy hand, and when they're doing the tattoo, they create more scar tissue than someone else that doesn't have a heavy hand. So if down the line you want to go over it, they have to disturb that scar tissue. And that did happen on a couple of the tattoos. And plus, they were so dark, or they wanted to really not show the previous tattoo, he had to add some white in there. And I guess the white is some different kind of needle. I'm not sure. And it burns a little bit more, or stings a little bit more, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
You know, but it just depends. It depends on that.
Yeah.
I mean, a needle scratching your skin, and you know, it's breaking your skin, so there is discomfort.
Of course.
But I mean, on a couple of them, I was falling asleep.
Really?
Go figure.
Yeah, you know what? When I had my eyebrows tattooed, and I actually fell asleep when she was doing it. For some reason, it was so relaxing to me. I mean, I have a couple tattoos too, not but I don't know, my eyebrows when I have them tattooed, I was falling asleep.
Yeah, a lot of people say like, oh, when it's on the bone, it hurts so much.
Yeah.
You know what? Fat hurts, because I have a lot of fat, and when the tattoo is being done on the fat, to me that hurts more.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of the bone, like one on my rib, that one hurt a little bit. I was just like, hurry up, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah, it hurts.
But a lot of the fat, like on my thigh, I was like, oh my god, like, when are you gonna be done?
That area, I would think would hurt a lot.
It was like, whoa, you know, a couple of them I actually passed out drunk.
Right? Oh my gosh, that's good.
I was like, oh great, it's done. Cool.
Right? Oh, you're done. Right? That helps get you through it. Sure. I went with my brother. I think my first one, I was 16. And we drove to San Jose, and it was this nasty little, oh, forgive me if he's still open, but I doubt it, little tattoo shop called Pinky's. And it was like this older Asian guy. And I should have known right away, because there was these ladies, you know, working ladies standing out front. And they came inside and were watching us get our tattoos done. But my brother got a name down the back of his arm first, big letters. And I remember when they got down to his elbow and just hearing that sound of that needle hitting the bone. It was giving me anxiety because I knew I was next.
It's like it hits a nerve where you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, definitely. So how did you and Cholo Trucker Eddie, how did you guys meet?
This is great. He's scared to interrupt. Okay. So we're both Steeler fans. He walked into my Steeler bar. So, he works, he has a coworker. And it was so funny because with Facebook, I have met some great Steeler fans.
Okay.
Awesome people that I can actually call family. And that football season, or that year, I met a girl, and turns out we live close by, and you know, I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a new place to go watch them. Where do you guys watch? Whatever. So she you know, introduced me to a couple other people. Some people already knew. And she's like, oh yeah, what, San Bernardino? It's like, oh, it's right here, this is where we go. So I went for a couple preseason games, and I'm like, this is awesome. Okay. So you know, season started, and my new friend's husband works with different people, and it's like every week he was bringing somebody new. And he's like, oh, this is, you know, he introduced to everybody, this is such and such from work, and whatever, all Steelers fans. I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know, hey, nice to meet you, whatever. Well, week 4, he brought Eddie. Yeah, he brought Eddie, and I looked and I was like, time you bring someone good looking. Like, all these older dudes, like, what the hell? I was like, all right, you know, cool. Oh, nice to meet you, whatever. But like, when the game's on, I'm watching the game.
Right.
I'm not like don't call me. I'm not gonna answer you. I mean, you better be dying. There better be an emergency.
Right.
If you keep calling me and keep calling me, not to be like, oh, hey, did you want to go here? No.
Right.
I'll block you. You know, so I'm watching the game. I'm not paying attention. It's whatever. And then during commercial break, another one of my friends told me, he's like, hey, he's checking you out. And I was like, okay, well, he can come talk to me. And he's like, oh, like the way guys talk to me. Nah, dog, he's checking you out.
Check it out.
Yeah, and I was like, man, fool, he's too young. And he's like, he looks, he goes, are you stupid? And I was like, he's young. He's probably like 25. I'm good. I ain't messing with nobody younger than me like that. And he goes, he ain't 25. He goes, I'm gonna find out. He goes, I'm gonna find out. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, whatever. so the time went on. I went to the bar to get a drink, and he was there, and he starts kind of talking to me. And I was like, okay. And then he goes, oh, so where do you stay? And I told him, and he's like, wait, over here in this area? I'm like, yeah, I stay in that area. And I'm like, where? So, like, we literally live, like, four blocks in an L shape.
Oh, my gosh.
2. And I was like, how long have you lived there? He goes, 10 years. Like, I've lived at my place for almost 8.
Wow.
Are you kidding? Yeah, he goes, I've lived there for 10 years. I was like, oh my God. So we're whatever, just talking. So then, the same friend that told me he was checking me out goes, hey, I told you he wasn't 25. He's 35. And I'm like, I was 36 at the time.
Right.
Something. Yeah. And I was like, look, and I was like, oh no, I was 37. And then, damn, was I? Yeah, I was 37. And then I look and I'm like, that's still younger than me.
Oh my God.
I'm good. That's still younger than me. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then my friend's like, you are stupid. Yeah, he goes, you are stupid. He's all like, man, he's a truck driver. He makes money. And I'm like, about the money. And he's like, oh, you're one of those.
Right.
He can sleep in his car as long as he has a good heart.
Yes, girl.
And I was like, no. And like, okay, we'll see. We'll see. So we ended up exchanging numbers. And he's like, hey, if you want to, come by after the game, we can have a drink. No, I ain't going to come by after the game. I don't know what the hell you want. I lied and said I'd go pick up my son. And I was like, no, maybe we'll, kick it next weekend or something like that. But we stayed, we chatted, we text, whatever, for the week and stuff like that. And then that's how it began. And here we are.
Wow. Yeah, it's like it was meant to be. The whole time you guys were living that close. That's
and that's why I was like, I used to live directly across the street from a 7-Eleven. And he's like, that's where I go and withdraw money. Yeah. And then I'm like,
crazy.
Hey, maybe you were behind me in line one day. Who knows?
Yeah. Like, what are the chances you guys were, going into the
He's all like, maybe. Because we never know, but we had to be out of our city in order to meet each other. So
right,
That's
so that was
cool. That was pretty funny.
That is cool how you guys met like that, and it's a bonus that you guys like the same team, right? Both Steelers fans.
Yeah, we have issues. I mean, it doesn't happen that way. A lot of times it's always house divided, and we came together liking the team. No one would switch. No one will switch. No one would switch. Football is my favorite. So, and he said it before, I'm the bigger Steeler fan. He's the bigger Dodger fan.
Okay.
We're still fans. Yeah. But me, it's like even right now, I keep giving him dirty looks because tomorrow's the home opener in Pittsburgh, and I want to be there.
That's right.
And he's been telling me for 3 years, next year. Last year, obviously, nothing was open. No, next year. And I'm like, I'm very upset. I have so many people flew out there,
really?
From Arizona, from just everywhere, flew out there. I don't even want to go on Facebook right now.
Right?
I'm jealous.
So you're committed to your team, that's for sure.
No, I'm jealous.
You'll go. I'm sure you'll make it to one soon.
I already told him next year.
Right.
I go,
sure.
He can stay here. I'm gonna go.
Hold on to it. Right. Most definitely.
Yeah.
What is it like being? I mean, you have your own career, I know, right? And your spouse is a truck driver. Is that how is that working that out? Like him being on the road and you doing your thing, and
Well, I mean, luckily he's local, so he's home pretty much every day except Mondays because he does a layover. Even though it's always been that way, it's still a little difficult at night, because he's not here, and I think it's subconscious. It's more subconscious.
Yeah,
because I know he's not here.
Right.
But when it comes time to go to sleep and stuff, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's odd. He always gets home earlier than me. He leaves before me. But now that we have the dogs, we kind of walk out at the same time because I take them for a walk every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to go very early so I can get that out of the way and do what I need to do.
Yes.
You know, but it's doable.
Yeah.
You know, we're home. We
make it work. Yeah.
Yeah. If he was on the road more, I think that would be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
for like long distance hauls and
yeah. For an all the time thing, I wouldn't like it.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. I'd be like, you better get another job.
Yeah. That would be difficult. Yeah. You had, like you said, you get up early. I saw you like when you post taking your dogs for a walk. I'm like, damn, early doing your thing. So you have your own like routine going already.
Yeah, I've always gotten up early. I have a weight problem. I'm always up and down with weight. So all my life, it's always been like that. So I need to work out to, you know, I mean, I don't want to be super skinny, but I don't want to weigh 300 pounds either. So I need to, and I'm not trying to offend anybody. Hey,
no, just, I get it.
You 300, go do it. Some people, guys and girls, can make it work. I cannot. I look like a chicken. I don't get my legs and my arms. It's all in the middle, and I look like a straight chicken.
Yeah.
So it's like I always had to get up. So like I would always like go to the gym. I want to be there right at 5 to make sure that I'm able to do everything. So I've always been a morning person.
Right.
You know, I've hurt myself over the years, so I can't do the gym thing anymore. But I feel like I'm more productive the earlier I wake up. I'm able to get things done.
Right.
I even make dinner before I go to work.
Oh wow.
They get home before me, and then they can eat whenever they eat. You know, a little limited, obviously, because I leave the food. But I mean, it works. Right. But I'm always up. So when you got me the dogs, I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk them every day. Well, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
I get tired. I do get tired.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like Monday through Friday. I got to get them used to the leash. You know, so yeah, I mean, I do every morning. Like I usually post every day. This week I didn't post anything, but we were out there.
Yeah.
We were out there like at 4:30 in the morning. You know,
right. That's early, but I like that. You have a routine down, and you know.
Yeah.
Is it difficult for you to like? I mean, you sound pretty determined, actually, but I just feel like some people find it difficult to make time for themselves. You know.
I learned a long time ago that no one's gonna take care of you like you are. Yeah, and you can't sit and wait for somebody to show you everything or be everything that you want them to be. You need to be happy with yourself, and you need to feel accomplished with yourself in any way, whether it's a workout, a job, I clean the house, I hate cleaning, you know, different things. So it really is a must, and people don't realize that because, I mean, whether you're single, have kids, no kids, whatever, us as females have the instinct to take care of whatever it is, and you can be running a mile a minute, and you need to pay close attention to yourself health-wise. You know, your mental state is very important. You know, I put work first for a long time. You know, just different things. But it's like you really do have to look at yourself. Are you content with yourself? And so many people will say, what, you know, not really. I want to look like this, you know. Okay, I don't want to look like a supermodel. I accepted that I was not going to have a flat stomach a couple decades ago. You know, and I don't care. Right. You know, I don't care. You know, I need to be healthy. Getting older, I mean, us women age differently than men.
Yes.
So we need to take care of ourselves a little bit different. You know, and I mean, you can't beat the clock. You know, and it requires sacrifice. So if I have to get up at, you know, my alarm goes off at 4:10. So if I have to get up to be able to do what I need to do, it is what it is. And by the time I get home, I mean, I'm tired. I still do things. I mean, I try to cook dinner every day. I make him lunch every day.
That's good.
You know, do I have the cleanest house? No, I'm looking for a cleaning lady. So hey, hit your girl up, because
You guys heard that.
I mean, because it's just I don't like cleaning. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate dusting. I hate doing all that with the dogs. It's even worse outside.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
garden.
And they have
You
long hair
know,
too. They're long-haired dogs. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's barely starting, but it's like, okay, I do what needs to be done to not be nasty, you know.
Of
But it's
course.
like I need some deep cleaning. You know, I told him, I go, we need a blower. We need one of those steam vacs or whatever.
Yes.
But
yes.
it's like I want to be able to relax. I need my coffee. Coffee, if I could have it in an IV, I would do it. Even though I don't like needles, I would do it. So in the morning, I try to make a little bit of time to drink my coffee.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, I usually do that while I'm doing my makeup. During the week, I look humble.
Yeah.
My hair is very curly, kinky curly. I don't straighten it.
Okay.
I don't use too much makeup as it is, because I don't know. I feel like if I start looking a certain way, I'm never gonna want to wash it off ever in my life. You know, I want to.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's
that's just
yeah.
That's just me. That's why these filters are like too much sometimes.
I know.
You know, so I hardly put any makeup on during the week. Yeah, and it's like that's quick. It's really fast for me to get ready. You know, I work in pharmacy, and I work in what's called a fulfillment specialty pharmacy. So first of all, you don't want to get drugs from me. These are people that have extremely, you know, just very bad illnesses, you know, where we're sending out IVs and supplies and stuff like that. You don't want any of that. But it's a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of lifting. It's not, you know, the warehouse part and stuff, but it's still drug. So, you know, I get a little dirty. Yeah. Helps me on my weightlifting, you know.
Right? I bet it does.
You know, I'm not gonna have my hair like this with good, you know, earrings on and all that. No. You know, I'm lifting up 30-pound boxes, and like, no. So during the weekend, I try to, you know, put a little bit more makeup on, do my hair occasionally, and stuff like that. But yeah, like today I slept in. Yeah, I slept in till like 6:30. You know, but I mean, hey, that's sleeping in for me. You know,
right? That's. Well, you're naturally beautiful, so that helps, you know.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like that you have a little routine going, and you know, you stick with it. That's inspiring, because I'm all over the place with my schedule right now.
It's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's things. I mean, my son doesn't play soccer anymore. When he played soccer, it was like, whoa, you know. It's difficult.
Yeah.
You know, you have so many things, but it's. You need to find time for yourself. And it's like, people are probably listening right now and saying, you don't got little kids. You don't got this. Your hours aren't like this. No, they're not. So you need to find out what works for you.
Yes.
You know, even if it's 10 minutes with a cup of coffee, by yourself, just kind of tuned out. It really does help. And it's good for the mental state.
I think so too. It's important to have that little, you know, section of time just for yourself.
Yeah, you know, I mean, so many people do different things, but you need to do something for yourself. I can't emphasize that enough, because it's like, who's taking care of you?
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah, we're married. You know, our husbands take care of us to an extent, but we're taking care of them as well.
Yes.
You know, so we need some sanity, even though I always say, us women do have a bit of psychosis, which is healthy.
Yes.
You know, you know, which is healthy. Some of us take it to the extreme, you know, but we do. So we need to calm the beast down at times.
Yes.
You know, we need to calm down at times. I mean, there's supplements and stuff to take too.
Right. I completely agree with that. Yeah, it's a fine line for us females. We've got to rein it in sometimes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Exactly.
That's one thing I was saying the other day when everyone on the chat was talking about boxing, I'm like, I don't think I could ever, you know, have done that professionally, because mentally, like, I don't have the discipline to not just flip out. Like, once I
think I would street fight. Yeah, I agree.
Right. I think that most females, I mean, I'm just, my opinion, I think most of us are that way. Yeah. Most
And it's a lot of discipline. Boxing is a lot of discipline. A lot of people think, because my son was in boxing for a little bit, and I learned more boxing with Eddie. You know, people think you can just jump in the ring and be like, yeah, it's
right.
very, you know, a whole different training, whole different mindset. The discipline is very, very
Key,
strict.
right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm just learning that. But how is it as a wife, you know, watching your husband boxing? I'm sure.
Oh, I didn't like it. I didn't
Yeah.
want to.
I
I
wonder.
didn't want to watch it. I not that I didn't want it to happen, because I knew they were doing it for a great cause, but I was like, okay, you know what? I don't want to be a part of what you guys are talking about, because you're trash talking each other, and I get it. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what people want to see and everything. But I'm like, no, because I'm gonna want to fight myself.
Yeah.
You know, and it was funny because, you know, when the fight happened, a lot of people didn't know who I was until I think that day.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't even remember who was behind me. You know, but I looked back and I told them, if you see me getting in the ring, pull me out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, pull me out however you can.
Right.
Pull me out if you see me even close. And when you guys, you know, watch the fight, the cameraman, he's right here filming. I was right here, like underneath. And I told him, if I get in your way, I'm sorry. Two, just nudge me, push me, say, hey, something. Like, you're fine, don't worry about it. I go, I know what I'm telling you.
Yeah, please listen. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I will see nothing but them. So, I mean, I can't even really tell you who was there. I know there was people there. Unless I actually talked to them, I can't remember, because I was so focused on what was going to happen in that ring.
Right.
You know, and then I was nervous too, because, you know, he had broken ribs.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was just like, God, I'm thinking all the what ifs.
Yes.
You know, like, okay, if he hits him good, because, you know, maybe like 3 or 4 people knew about it. And I'm like, if he hits him good right there, it will puncture a lung.
Oh, yeah.
It will puncture a lung. And I'm not even going to wait for an ambulance. I'm out of here.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, you know, that was worrying me. I just wanted the fight to be over.
Yeah, to be over. So he had previous ribs going into it, or?
Yeah, we didn't know, because he had gotten injured sparring.
Okay.
And he was just like telling me what was wrong or whatever. And it wasn't getting better. So this was like a course of maybe 4 weeks. It wasn't getting better. And then I'm like, why don't you want to go get checked? And first he was like, no, I'm okay. But it didn't get better, so he ended up going. And he went and got checked. He got x-rays. He was like, no, I just have contusions. And I'm like, okay, all right. Well, you know, and he couldn't rest because the fight was like 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, we'll just tell the trainer that you have contusions and try to, like, you know, I mean, I don't know the first thing about training.
I know.
You know, so I was like, I don't know, work on your breathing. I don't know, you know.
Right.
And the week before the fight, I got so mad. The week before the fight, sits me down and tells me that the hospital called him, that, oh, your x-rays came back and you do have broken ribs. And I'm like, what do you mean your x-rays came back? No. Wasn't the x-ray there? And the doctor explained? And he's like, yeah. So my whole mindset goes, I want to know if that was an actual physician or was it a physician assistant? Was it an NP? If it was, I want to know the supervising physician's name. I just like went
protection mode. Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, I can't call because I wasn't on the insurance, so I can't call, and they're not going to give me any information. Doesn't matter that I'm his wife. You know, they're not going to give me any information.
I know.
And I was so mad. And I'm like, if they would have told you this prior, we could have done something. I mean, you really can't do much for it.
For broken ribs, no. Yeah.
But it's like we could be a little bit more cautious, and then I was like, so what? You can call the fight. And he was like, no. And I'm like, no. And so we had this long discussion about it. He goes, I can do this. I don't want to push it. I don't want, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, then okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was more in my mind, more than anything. I didn't want to see him get hurt. I mean, get hit.
Of course, yeah.
I didn't want to see him to get hit anyway. I've never seen him fight. I don't want to see him fight. And like he said, it's a blessing that neither one of us have seen each other fight. There hasn't been a reason to.
Right.
So that was my main concern. I'm just kind of like, it's funny because he says, oh, it was all love. It was all love. And then my daughter goes, you were dogging everybody in there.
Right. Yeah. That's what we do.
He goes, you were dogging everybody. And then my compadre videoed or recorded their reaction to the fight. And my daughter, look at my mom. Look at my mom. I was like,
that's so funny. So you got a like secondhand view of yourself. Right?
And you can hear me. I mean, I lost my voice.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, it's no wonder you went in there like already on protective mode because you knew about the injury.
Yeah, and it's like nobody knew, and he wanted it that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but just be over with. Like, God, like, please don't let the ribs puncture. That was my main concern.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Because it's like, no, he'll stop breathing.
Yeah.
People don't realize, oh, you just broken ribs. You get hit again, look it up.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it happens. I have a nephew who, was in a street fight in Tracy, California, and that actually happened to him. So,
it's scary. It's scary, and like, but I mean, it happened. It's done. He was able to heal.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, after all that, then, hey,
Right. Now we can, chop it up.
Now we can be all livable.
Right.
Before that, I was like,
that says a lot, about you guys being, your teamwork as a couple, getting through that. And it says a lot about him being able to maintain through that pain, because I know that can't be, a pleasant thing to walk around.
Yeah. The last round was very difficult. He got one hit on him, and then it's like, can you breathe? Like, yes, okay, get him. Last 60 seconds. That's it. Like, you wanted this. Yeah. You wanted this.
Right. That's right. Well, I really, I respect it for sure. Most definitely. I want to ask you 3 questions. Well, it's a question, but what are today 3 things that you can say you're grateful for?
Life.
Yeah.
Being alive. Being able to breathe. Being able to function and do everything I need to do for everyone in my life. My family, including my husband. All family, immediate family, further out family, friends that have become family. And honestly, health.
Yes.
I mean, maybe that falls into the category of being alive, but not necessarily.
Right.
I
think it's
all this, right? All this material stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I would say, those 3 things: life, family, and health.
That's right. Definitely agree with that for sure. You know what? You saying health separately makes sense to me, because I've been alive and there's been times that my health has been bad, and that's, you know what I mean? You don't feel so grateful at that time when you come out.
No.
But it makes you.
I myself have had health issues, and it comes back to, the same thing. You need to take care of yourself.
Right.
You need to take care of yourself. Be healthy. I'm not saying to be you know, an athlete that, you know, just only drinks protein shakes. No,
Right. Yeah.
you know, no, you need to be healthy. We have women have different health risks from men. You know, again, the older we get, you know, we get to go through menopause. Woo!
Yay,
You know,
right?
so.
I know. Let me ask one more thing. What is your signature dish for dinner? Like, what are you known for in your family that everybody, like, special request?
Special request.
Yeah, like, what do they love? You know,
I was gonna say one word, one thing, but no.
I think I follow where you're going, but yeah.
Had a lot, you know, it's simple. It's chicken enchiladas.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Red or green?
Green.
Okay. Yeah.
Green. Very simple. You know, I think that's the most favorable. You know, it's like, yeah, and it's simple too.
Right, right. Yeah, it makes you feel good too, right? When you know your family appreciates it and something they like.
Yeah, and I don't make them much too. So now that he's gonna watch this and be like, chicken enchiladas.
You know what you're making for dinner. Right? That's true. I just wanted to thank you too, because I don't know if you remember, but on one of the lives when I was first chatting with you, I had asked you for some advice. One of my homegirls had kind of did me dirty.
I remember.
Do you remember? Okay. You were right with your advice. You know, you had said something like basically, you know, cut it loose. You know, that's not your homegirl. And how I know you were right is I made the mistake of going back and trying to, you know, connect with her again and thinking, you know, let me give her another chance. And she burned me again. And you know what? The first thing I thought of is, you know what? Belle was right. I should have just kept it pushing and taken that solid advice because I got
sometimes we need to know for sure, you know, and we try to see the good in people.
Right.
You know, I've always heard like, oh no, you know, they're a good person. They're a good person just going through something or whatever, fill in the blank. Okay, if you're a good person, you're not going to do someone dirty. I mean, you may snap at somebody because of whatever you're going through, but you recognize that almost immediately and will say, I'm sorry. You know what? Just give me some time right now. My best friend, we've been friends for 30 years and 30 plus years. We don't kick it every day. We don't talk on the phone every day, but we're there for each other. If there's something up, I know I could go to her.
Right.
Vice versa. You know, it's, oh, I need this done, or I can't do this, or help me out with this. We're there for each other.
Right.
No matter what, no matter where, no matter what. That's the longest friendship I've ever had. You know, and I do have friends, you know, a lot of acquaintances. You know, I do have friends, but it's like, I think myself, I can read people pretty well. And I kind of see what it's about or what they're about. I don't judge because I'm not perfect. Last time I checked, I'm not perfect. Well, I'm not going to judge anybody, you know, but I'm like, okay, we're cool because of fill in the blank, you know, but like, okay, can I call you if something's going on or not? Yeah. And, you know, I think people say, oh, blood's thicker than water. Bull.
Yeah.
No, that's the biggest lie. I'm sorry.
Right.
And whether it be, okay, personal, yeah, it's personal, but it's true. I mean, hey, if in your family, yes, blood is thicker than water, more power to you.
Right.
Thank God that you have that bond.
Yeah.
Many people don't. Many people don't. Yeah. And also longevity is not an issue either. You know someone for 20 years and they do you dirty, but you still keep them like, okay, well, yeah, you know, I'll help you out. And then they do something stupid. Oh, that's just how they are. No. You can know someone for 2 years and they're down for you.
Yeah.
You know, they got your back.
Right.
You know, like, oh, okay. You know, it's just all different, you know, but I truly believe if, no matter who they are, they do you dirty in whatever way, and not offending, I'm just like really literally doing something to you,
Right.
then they're not your friend, even though you've known a while or whatever the reason may, or whatever the thing may be. It's like, okay, like, are you serious? Like, I always look at it like, would I do that to them?
Right. That's a good way to look at it.
Would I do that to them? You know, and if the answer is no, then obviously we're not the same person.
Yeah.
You know, but you can be a good person. You can be an a-hole and be a good person.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
you can't. So it's like, no. Like they always say, treat people like you want to be treated. But when someone does something to you, think to yourself, would I do that to them? And there's your answer right there.
Wow, that's a good way to break it down.
I should have been a counselor. No.
Right? Check you out, counseling. Yeah, you counsel.
Damn it. Go get my degree.
Right? Why not? Why not? So I want to just give you the chance to shout out anybody if you want to, or if, you know, people can follow you guys, obviously, Cholo, right? And
well, I mean, it's him. You know, it's him. I don't really. A lot of people have come at me like, "Oh, you should do your own channel." You know, I
was
just
going to ask that, but yeah.
I just tell everyone to follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
I just feel like I don't have the time to add YouTube. Yeah. It's a lot of computer stuff. I don't know how to do this stuff. You know.
Me neither. My daughter helps me.
I kind of just jump in with his because it's fun, you know. And a lot of people have followed me on Instagram, even Facebook, you know, from his channel.
Okay.
And it's cool, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as shout out, I don't know who on YouTube, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I see people, and it's like anybody who I've ever interacted with on YouTube, shout out.
Right. There you go. There you go. That's
everybody has different names too.
I
like
know.
there's a name on YouTube and another name on Instagram. Even like when I'm going through his messages, I'll be like, oh, I'll say the name, and he's like, ooh. And then I'll say something else. I go, does it sound familiar?
Right.
You know, makes it hard. Or even they'll say like, oh, hey, Cholo, I'm such and such on YouTube. And then I'll tell him. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. But people that I've interacted with on YouTube.
There you go. Well, I enjoy seeing you, you know, on the lives and being able to chat with you.
Thank you.
You know, it's nice. And it's nice to see you guys interact. It's a lot of fun.
We're crazy. I'm the crazy one.
That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. It's perfect.
He's the calm.
Right. I just want to thank you so much for doing this. I feel super honored to have you here. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm telling you, you're the first invitation. I mean,
I'm surprised.
People have mentioned, but never like formally said it. You know, I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Or if they've told him, maybe he's mentioned it to me, or honestly, I don't remember. So if somebody has told him, get at him.
Get at him. That's right. That's right. But it's nice, you know, people can get to know you a little more and see, you know, I can see how, you know, you guys are a good unit, and it was just nice to get a glimpse into who you are. You know, you're a person inside and out.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we'll end it on that, and I just, you know, thank you.